The Michigan Soybean Promotion Committee is proud to offer this white mold control video featuring Mike Staton of Michigan State University Extension.
We're here to talk about managing white mold in soybeans with the use of foliar fungicides. First thing I want to mention is that foliar fungicides are an important tool, but they're only one of the tools available to managing white mold in soybeans. It's such a complex disease that we really do need to use all available tools. Now, let's say we are trying to make that decision. Do we use this particular tool, foliar fungicides? The way you make that decision is based on several things. Some of them are characteristics of the field, some of them are characteristics of the weather. The field characteristics are, have you had white mold in the past? If you've had white mold in the past, you've got the inoculum. We're growing a sensitive crop already because soybeans, most of our varieties are going to be susceptible. The third thing you want to consider as far as the field goes is what's the density of that crop canopy. If the rows are closed and it's very dense, then you're going to be more likely to benefit from a foliar fungicide. There's 4 factors that contribute to that: planting date, fertility, row spacing, and planting rates. All cause more density. The last thing to consider are the weather conditions. That's really hard to predict. So there is a new prediction tool available from the University of Wisconsin and Michigan State University. It's called Sporecaster. It's an app that's available for your iPhone or your Android device. I really encourage you to download that because that'll take the guesswork out of whether an application is warranted. So now let's say an application is warranted. What products do you use? There's 4 main products that university agronomists and pathologists have identified. First one is Approach, then Endura, Omega, and Propulse. And they're just listed basically in alphabetical order. They're all rated either good to very good. So those are the products to use. Okay, so now you've got your products decided. How do you know when to put them on? That's tricky. The simple answer is R1 to R3. R1 is basically 1 open blossom on 50% of the plants in the field. R3 is a very tiny visible pod anywhere on the upper 4 nodes on the main stem. So it's typically a 10-day to 2-week window between those 2 growth stages. And what really dictates which one you choose or where you put in there is the weather that occurs during those growth stages. So the best thing again to do is to download and be familiar with that Sporecaster app, because what that'll allow you to do is it'll track the weather from local weather stations and it'll assess the risk in your specific fields. Now, one last thing to consider is the spray quality, and you manage that as an operator through your equipping and operating of your sprayer. Very important to do a good job of putting the product on. If you don't do it, no matter how good the fungicide is, if you don't get it where it's supposed to go, it's not going to do its job. That's basically managing white mold with foliar fungicides.
Be sure to hit the subscribe button to see more soybean production videos, and check out the links in the description box below for more information on white mold control.